Hi everybody, it is Scary with, I don't even know, is this the 5th or 6th breakdown? Who knows? I'm here with nobody, just myself. We're going to be breaking down the Gotham Pokemon Club. A little bit of a rebranding from the Gotham Jesters. I just didn't really like the logo, so that was my reasoning for that. And this is Wi-Fi. If you've seen SPC Season 2, 3, then you'll know what Season... Oh, this is 4. If you've seen Season 3, you'll know Terra Captain rule was expanded to 3 Mons, at least 3 Mons, costing to 28 points, up to 28 points. And that's about that. So, without a further ado, let's get right into this. I'm just gonna go based off points order, not draft order, but I think that's pretty similar to how I drafted. But anyways, I'll denote if a Mon is a Terra Captain, and if you enjoy, subscribe, all that great stuff. First, we got Darkrai. This Mon is illegal here, so I wanted to test it out. I've heard very conflicting things about Darkrai. I've heard it's good just because of its stats, but I've also heard it's pretty easy to prep around. It's pretty bland. It just does the same thing. So I want to test that for myself. I want to see how it is. I want to do that. So that's my reasoning for picking Darkrai. I just want to test it. I thought it was the best Mon available. Did I have first pick? I don't know. No, I had a late round pick, and this was here. So I was like, fuck it, we ball. So yeah, Darkrai, just I can set up. It actually gets knockoff, so half tempted to do a defensive set for it, but I am not built like that. So we got Darkrai. Next, we have Annihilate. This is the Mon I have not used ever. Not you Ubers, I don't even know if it's legal there. Especially not Draft League. I have never used Annihilate, so I figured this is probably the best shot I'll have. The Darkrai and it synergize a little bit well. It can take the fighting attacks, and Darkrai can take the psychic attacks, and Annihilate can take the U-turns, and Darkrai can take the Shadow Balls. Like, this synergizes somewhat well, so I figured why not. If you've been around here, you'll know one of, if not my favorite core, is the Fighting Psychic Dark Core. So with Darkrai as my first Mon, I figured why not just build around it. And unfortunately, Ghost type doesn't really have a good core. I guess Ghost Dark Normal or Ghost Fighting, some combo like that. Or so Ghost wasn't really something I could build around. So that is why I went with Slowking Galar, because not only is it a defensive Mon, which is better for this core, but it's also offensive. It's both, which is like perfect because Fighting Psychic Dark is such an offensive base core. So it's nice to have that little defensive slash offensive synergy as well. It gets Pivot. Both of these Mons actually get Pivot. This gets Rocks, which will bring once. I definitely will bring Rocks once. Or like a final Gambit set. Glow King though, just really good, man. I've used this Mon a lot. This Mon is really consistent, really good, and you need those consistent Mons when you're not using you're not using Mons that you're not used to. So it's nice to have Glow King. It synergizes decently well. Again, can take fighting attacks, so we're just helping Darkrai. And that's like, and it can take fairies, which are great for both of those. But unfortunately, this isn't the greatest defensive core. I think a lot of people know that, so I'm not really putting too much merit. After that, Rotom Wash was my next pick. And it's funny because I think while draft was happening, a couple people were mentioning I spent so much points on my top Mons. I think with my first 6 were all 10 and above, and my last however many 4 picks were 6, 8, 1, and 1, and 4. I'm extremely top heavy, but at the same time, like, I think I've surrounded this team decently well, and I think Rotom Wash is great. I think it's a great defensive pivot. I was cooking on my team. I was like, I need that ground type. I need that ground type resist or that ground type immunity just because of Glow King and just because I didn't have anything and I needed it to be a good Mon. So why not just go with my guy, Rotom Wash? It's also nice to have a flying resist. It's kind of underrated, but especially when I've got him on Annihilate, it's really nice to just surround it with that. And that's about it. So that's Rotom Wash. It's defensive. It can just do a lot of stuff, which is really nice for this team. It's very flexible, and it's surrounded by, well, at least right now, it's surrounded by 3 Mons that are very set in stone on what they do, and they have their roles cut out. So I like Rotom Wash for this team. And Wo-chan, I love Wo-chan. Wo-chan's PU, oh my god. And this is a Terra Captain. So this is the first Terra Captain of the team, and it's definitely one of the best Terra Captains out there. I really like what it can do. I think there's a lot of good sets with it. And there's obviously recovery is an issue. It didn't get synthesis at all. That's really embarrassing. But it can leech seed. It can leftovers leech seed protect. Chip you down a little bit. I just personally like what Wo-chan offers for this team. I know it's another dark type, technically Terra, which kind of sucks for the Fire Water Grass core, but even if it doesn't Terra, I think it's very solid. And despite them both being dark types, I think they're both very distinct in what they do. So it's kind of another philosophy. Usually I do draft 2 waters, one physical, one special, or one tanky, one offensive. That's usually how I roll, so I think in this case, I think it's fine. I think it's whatever. It adds a defensive tank when I really have Rotom Wash can do anything, but it could be any tank, but it could also just be offensive. So I'd rather have 2 mons that are dedicated to one side than 1 mon dedicated to special and then a whole bunch all-arounders, or just all-arounders in general, because it just doesn't lead to good stuff. That's why I like Wo-chan. And then next we have Tinkaton, another 10-point mon. And this is the last 10-point mon now. Tinkaton just fits extremely well. I was kind of just looking at typings and I was like, oh crap, I don't have a fairy or steel type or a dragon type. And I was kind of like, fuck. And then I just added Tinkaton. So Tinkaton is another very utility mon-esque, which for this team, I really only have Rotom Wash for that, so adding another is great, adding another rock is great, adding a knockoff user's great, typing is amazing, it's great defensively, you can SD, you can Garf, you can whatever, skill swap seems like fun. There's some fun stuff you can do with this mod, so I'm really happy, really excited to use it. Alright, I'm going really quick, which is nice. Next, we have the next, what is this? 3 mons. Next 3 mons are all Terra Captains. And we're going with Rhyperior, which I think is a steal. 8 points. This thing is 8 points, and it could Terra to any type. And it has, what is it, like Prism Armor pretty much, where it takes half, or the filter, where it's not really taking a lot from super effectives, and if you Terra Steel, or you Terra to any type, then it's insane. It is an insane ability, so Rhyperior is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to use it. I feel like I'm going to say that about every mod. It's a rocker. 140 base attack is nothing to scoff at. It has amazing HP that could really cover up bad SPF, where it could like kind of invest in SPF, or like be adamant like this and like be vested. Rhyperior is just so underrated, and I'm excited to use it. I don't know how well I'll be with it. I say like, oh, this one's underrated, and then I usually just crap the bed with it, so I hope that's not the case, but we'll have to see. Looking at my team, you can kind of put stuff together, right? We don't have that Fire Water Grass core. We need a dragon for the Fairy Dragon Steel core. We nearly have the ground Flying Electric core, which is a core technically, so figured I'd mention that. And I was kind of like, crap, what does this team need, right? We have Darkrai, which is a great special attacker. We have Annihilate, which is a great physical attacker. And Rhyperior is a great physical attacker. We're kind of needing that special attacker. Whether it's a breaker, whether it's a sweeper, we need somebody who can just say, fuck it, we ball, and just start steamrolling. And I was looking at the tiers, and I was looking how many points I had, and I'm pretty sure I actually made this decision very early on before I had, well, while I was prepping, before I even put Rhyperior, Tinkaton, and then all the lower tiers. Like when I was Wo-chan, Rotom Wash, Glowking, Annihilate, Darkrai, I was like, fuck, this mon actually works extremely well with this team. And I'm kind of hyping it up a little bit, but it's Charizard, man. It's fucking Charizard. This mon actually works for this team, and that's the worst part, is I never thought I would use Charizard. I'm a person, I've only used, I think, the Megas, which are like, I don't really consider that like, the Charizard, so I can get away with it, but like, I've never used Charizard. I've never used it on a team, I just associated it with the overpopular Pokemon. But for this team, it actually is good. It actually is good. It's an amazing special attacker, which is what I'm needing. And the thing I forgot to mention, it can Terra. So we're getting stronger fire type moves, we're getting stronger flying type moves, and we're getting stab on any other move. So this is Terra's probably going to be purely offensive for this mod. I don't imagine this having that defensive niche. Its typing is really great defensively, so I don't think I really need that. And it's just unfortunate. This mod just works incredibly for this team. I really hate it, but really I just need that defensive flying type crusher. Like that was what I was going with. So, or at least a fire type crusher, and it just an added bonus that's flying type. So, unfortunate, man. Like I said, you hate to see it, but it's just how it is sometimes. That just is how it is. Next, we have Komala for 4 points, and it was kind of an afterthought, but it can Terra. I don't know how much I'll actually be using it. I just needed spin support. That's really the only reason I wanted this thing at all. So, it was either this or my one-pointers get Terras, which honestly I was debating over just because the one-pointers aren't horrible at all, so, or at least one of them isn't horrible at all. One of them is just webs. And so, come on, spin, and knock, and U-turn, and why does this keep, when did this cut out? This is getting embarrassing. If I go like this, will you cut out? Because I gotta get this checked out. I'm sorry for the tangent, but I'm really annoyed. You wanna end? So that work, I don't know. I don't know. Next, the more useful one, Illamuse. The biggest thing, first off, this mon being 1 point is crazy, because I don't think it's 1 point. It gets Wish, it gets U-turn, it gets Roost, it gets Rain Dance, it gets Sunny Dance. This is the ultimate utility mon. Tinkaton, step aside. This mon is just that good. Utility. Typing's a little bit meh, which is why I would like to Terra it. So I'll have to see later on if Komala's that guy, or if Illamuse deserves it, or whatever, but Spawn is so weird. Spawn is incredibly weird. A little unorthodox, maybe. We'll have to see. But I like Illamuse, and to get another bug, because like I mentioned, we got sticky webs on this team, we got Cutify! Yippee! Hallelujah! I don't know, if we look at... You guys can't see this, but if we look at available one-pointers, because that's really what I can get at this point, go over to SPC, and we go to tiers. If we look at the tiers, the dragons that are available are Dartrix, that is not a dragon, I lied, Dragonair, and Dracloak, which are pretty bad, Gabite, which is also pretty bad, and I'm accounting Terra, by the way. This is accounting Terra. Hakomo, which, again, pretty bad. Krokorok isn't a dragon. Sliggoo, not the greatest, and Dwellios, which, again, a Terra could be fine, but for all intents and purposes, it's not the greatest. One I'm looking at, if I'm like, I want a dragon, right? I want a solid dragon that can Terra. I'm looking at Haxorus, or not Haxorus, Fracture. Oh my god. Fracture, which is 2 points. So I can't get that. So I kind of had to cut my losses and just be like, fuck it. We'll get a playstyle instead of an actual usable dragon type, which kind of sucks. I really did want a dragon type for this team, but it just sucks. It's unfortunate. I was thinking about Take, or not, is Take the... No, Tinkatoff. I was thinking of Tinkatoff, but I ultimately went with Tinkaton. Cutify, purely webs. That is the only reason this mod is here. You can sticky web, and I guess Switcheroo Scarf or something. And then U-turn, like, this, you know what Cutify does. You know why it's here. That's the team. I'm actually, hold on, what's this? Does it work? There we go. So this is the team. I'm somewhat excited. I'm in so many leagues at this point. I was in like 1 for a while. I was in 0 for a while. And now I'm in like 8, which is a lot, but I was kind of in a rough spot mentally. I don't want to go too much into it, but I haven't been uploading, I haven't been on schedule, I've been doing things on time, and I've been stuck in this whole fantasy world of mine for a bit, so I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to get back to actual prep for mons, or somewhat prep for mons, like putting a team together and looking at checks and counters and doing a thorough job instead of just throwing something together last minute. I was doing in the past, definitely after UBDL. So I want to get back to that, and I figured if I throw myself into this, if I throw myself into leagues again, then I can at least try and fix that and try and I don't want to get so personal. I really don't want to get so personal, but that's gonna be it for me. Thank you for watching if you got this far. I do appreciate it because I probably wouldn't watch myself, which I'm for several reasons, but just thank you, and I will see you guys later. Also, wait, the thing just there's a result. I'll look into that. But thank you for watching. Have a great one. Love y'all. Peace.